This is from Michael. Says, Dear Matt, I attend a Baptist church and I'm frequently treated to sermons on the evils of alcohol. However, in my personal studies, every time the Bible addresses consumption of alcohol, it specifically refers to wine. When I asked my pastor about this, he told me that wine is just the biblical shorthand for all alcohol beverages. I am curious if this is the case or if wine is specifically mentioned due to its sacramental nature. Would love to get the Catholic perspective as well as your personal convictions on the subject. I think we've talked about the alcohol thing before on the show. I'm not sure, so I don't want to repeat myself too much any more than I already have. But yeah, the idea that the Bible condemns alcohol outright is theologically absurd. That is just a theological invention, I'm afraid to say, on the part of your pastor and any other pastor who gets up there and says all alcohol is evil. What they're doing is that's a personal belief that they have, which is fine. You know, you're entitled to that personal belief, and it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine to have that personal belief and that personal conviction that alcohol is, you know, that you don't want to drink alcohol. Great. I have no problem with that. But when you try to take that personal conviction and impose it onto the text, to try to make it into more than just your personal conviction, to try to turn it into God's conviction, then I have a problem with that. And not because, no matter what the subject is, I don't care if it's alcohol or anything else, I have a problem with doing that. And I think it's wrong. And honestly, it's dishonest. Because there's just no, I'm sorry, Jesus Christ's first miracle recorded in the gospel, as far as we know, his first miracle on earth was providing wine for a wedding. And if you try to tell me that it was non-alcoholic wine that he was providing to a wedding, I mean, that is just so ridiculous. There's no textual reason for that at all. You're not getting that from the text. You're getting it from your own head. By the way, I'm not yelling at you, Michael, because you're asking the question. I'm just yelling at everyone who makes this claim, which isn't you. It's completely ridiculous. In fact, it even says that the guests at the party, at the wedding, were shocked that this was the finest wine. It was the best wine. And they were shocked that it had been saved for the end. Okay, do you think that non-alcoholic wine, that grape juice is the finest wine, the best wine? No. And why is it that typically, and this is a practice even still today, why is it that usually the lower quality alcohol is provided at the end? Well, because by then people have been drinking and they're feeling good, they're feeling loose, and they're going to be less discerning about the alcohol you give them. It's the same thing. I have a Christmas party every year at my house. My wife and I do. And we stock the fridge with beer, and we've got the good expensive beer, but I don't want to pay to stock the entire fridge with good expensive beer. So got some good expensive craft beer, and then we also get like some Yuengling or Coors Light or something. At the end of the night, all that's left is the Coors or the Yuengling, and then people start drinking that because now they're a little bit less discerning about it. So, okay, that clearly means that this is alcoholic wine we're talking about at a party. Okay, you're not going to have, it's not a big emergency if you run out of grape juice at a wedding. If you run out of wine, that's a problem, right? Because it's hard to have a fun party without any alcohol. So Jesus Christ's first miracle on earth is to provide alcohol to a party, and yet these people think that they can make some sort of argument that the Bible condemns alcohol outright? Again, it's fine if you don't like it. Just stop trying to put that on the text. Just admit that this is your personal opinion, and that's fine. It just annoys me.